And $180 million transaction in mineral speak is a big transaction. So congratulations again on that. And it's quite a step up. You know, you did a couple of $50 million deals, right? A $15 million deal, and then boom, 180. It's a big statement. So one, it's a big asset. There's not too many like that. And then in the Eagle Ford as well, which is more of a mature basin. So you already kind of alluded to it. This is more developed. It's more of a cash flow play, but just walk us through kind of the details, where it is, et cetera.
Yeah, so that would so that is primarily in the it's mostly Karnes and pardon my
Atascosa
counties, but is where the primary acreage holding is, and how we see that, we see that, for the operator, which is Marathon, to continue marching out on there. We see kind of 100 wells a year being drilled on those lands for the next 5 years, primarily focused on developing the lower Eagle Ford, and with that it keeps fairly flat production. Beyond that, we see upside in the upper Eagle Ford and the Austin Chalk, and there's a number of operators that are looking at potential EOR schemes in that area. But philosophically, the best rock, the best plays, we think continue to find ways to get oil out of those plays. And so what we liked about it was the kind of the 5 year of flat production, and with that there's a lot of cash flow comes with it, and we can decide how we want to invest that in other areas of the portfolio. So even though it had no growth to it in our modeling, it has just a lot of cash flow characteristics which we can then allocate elsewhere.
Yeah, and I'm looking at the map here, highly contiguous, great position, right? So this was, to my understanding, an override that a family office essentially had, right? That was carved out from a transaction years ago. So a bit of a non-traditional seller, if you may. The other transactions you have done have been with portfolios of professional aggregators, right? But I mean, extremely contiguous. So that's great. Because I'm just looking at your map, and you have some diversification across, the Eagle Ford trend there, and then boom, just a huge position in the Karnes Trough. It's fantastic.
And Tim, we look at that, you compare that, so not only, is it just a, really nice production stream, our corporate average net back in the first half of the year was, $41 a BOE. If you look at, what came off this Eagle Ford transaction, it's 56. So, significantly more higher quality revenue stream than our portfolio. So not only are we, accretive on a production per share basis, but on a value on a cash flow per share basis, it's much more accretive. So, we go from, 200 barrels a day of production in the US, this time last year to, 5,000, and, representing 35% of our portfolio, but yet 40% of our revenue. That's just how much better the pricing is, as you get closer to the Gulf Coast than what we're dealing with in Canada. So it also has a big difference on how our portfolio looks post-transaction.